AI and bullshit. To avoid racist comments for a few minutes while I fuck around with this. What? Wait, what? Wait, what?
I don't think we're getting context in. I think he's just trying to flow through these.
He's trying to go through everything. I've turned off. Why the hell do I still sound alerts on this? I haven't even done anything yet. Fuck off. I'm trying to delete this.
Oh yeah, Blanson, speaking of Twitch and chats.
Oh god, fine. I haven't gotten back into that because I'm playing it too shitty. Doing some adjustments. Oh yes, Lollipop Chainsaw, the meme that existed back in 1902.
Well, what I was actually gonna propose, Blanson, is on stream. Oh my god. Okay, what the fuck do you mean? You know? How do you fucking not know? You sent me the thing. You nearly killed me.
He nearly killed me. I don't know. What the bad turtle? You didn't see me.
Listen, you're the one who sent me like tons of Ludazula pictures and sent me a ton of memes that almost murdered me. The least you can do is remember the suffering you put me through, you asshole.
How long ago was that meme? That has to be like 35 years.
It was literally it was like a year and a half ago.
God, didn't
it was around that time.
Like, come on. Like, what is happening here? What the fuck is this thing? I'm just standing around. I don't even know how my audio is. What fight? What are you doing? Are you just sitting there farming a fate? Oh, you failure. I'm doing literally nothing but fun. I didn't do shit last night. What the hell is going on? Who plays Black Desert nowadays, honestly? Who does that?
Orca?
It's like there's still 5 million people playing the game, for God's sake. With combat I understand, but I just don't know what else to do in the game. Wait, what classes did they add recently? That's the question. Oh, so they rebalanced the characters and shit's what you're telling me. I still hate their upgrade system. Oh, fail stacking, fail stacking, fail stacking.
Let's go.
Why do I want to fail stack? Why don't I just get better gear and have a nice day? Like, what's why?
We can clear the browsing history. It's not too
you can clear browsing history? Show me how. You know how to do it. You know they save it on the router, right?
The pictures of your ball sack sent to the group photo.
No, it's just an upside down sleeping keep that. It's okay. It wasn't a ball sack.
The context is so great.
Who needs context for that? That's just brilliant.
We don't. We really don't. This just exists. This is just our life. This is just our adventures in shitposting history.
What is the point, you say? Bravo. You see knowledge these, no? Okay.
Self-care. Drink the fucking water. Wash the fucking face. Put on some fuzzy socks. I don't fucking know. Just do it.
Just do it. Just put on fuzzy socks because fuzzy socks are fuzzy. This is how you fuzzy up your socks.
Wait, did I do what?
You're watching a lolly. You see Molly.
There's just certain things that we just don't admit to each other, okay? There's just certain realms we just don't go to anymore. No, I'm not sending it to you. Although it's tempting, but I'm not. Okay, fine. 1 second.
What?
The fucking self-care. Drink the fucking water. Wash the fucking face. Put on some
I'm sending it.
Why does it sound like a YouTuber to me?
It is a VTuber.
Oh god, this rabbit hole has gotten too deep.
Hey, you started the rabbit hole.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I probably did, actually, never mind.
Yeah, you sound like don't pull a fucking Brad Pitt in fucking Fight Club.
No, it was the imaginary me. I could kiss my own hand and make it turn sticky. In a fucking situation. So it's an Instagram called Icky.
A few moments later.
Ah, it's that cheap for. I mean, I have no idea who that is. I'm killing myself. I'm standing here dying to go water. The stupidity of myself is amazing. Like, fucking. Randomly running shit while I eat my own scrotum. Let's go. I thought I deleted Soundbirds, but I didn't have it set up yet. So why is it still popping up with, like, things on the screen? I haven't finished correctly modifying it. That's really annoying. I'm gonna have to figure that out as I fly over my objective because I have the biggest of brains. But anyways. I don't know. I'm not involved with any of this deliciousness.
Peter, are you still looking through memes?
Why does it say in the turning mists if you're in the... Huh? Ah.
I think I said that one. Oh shit.
Now I need to find Mufasa family meme.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, that was you.
Can I even find it? God damn it, I found it. Scar, no! And then it's Mufasa falling, and then Car, Disney can't kill your dad when you have family. God damn it. Fuck it. Like, it's the first one that popped up. I googled the goddamn thing. How do I send this shit to my phone? I don't know how technology works. This is fucking stupid. I hate you so much. You made me Google that shit, now I'm just looking at it scared. What the fuck? The car flies out of nowhere. What the hell? You're just dying. There's more than one. There's like 4 different ones. He's sitting in the car all smug looking at him like he wants to. He's giving him the fuck me eyes. What is this? What the hell? Fuck off, Twitter. No one cares. Elon Musk can suck a dick. How do I want to send it to my phone. How do I do that?
Even it just, the memories of it also just make me fucking ball out laughing.
And he's nuts? What the?
Yeah.
What time do you gotta leave, anyways? You don't even know. Your silly little ass. What?
Yeah, it lives.
Purpose fake, but I still hate it! Cause I'm a gremlin!
I'm gonna do the leveling.
Yeah, remember that scene in Dragon Ball where Majin Buu just had to explain that he's a gremlin?
What the? What? What?
You. I'm gonna beat you up, believe it.
What the hell is the Lammy is that again? I keep
Try
forgetting.
and use talk no jutsu like a little bitch, like you do always. Believe that. Well, I'm gonna be Hokage, believe that. I was the president of the United fucking States, believe that. Believe it. No, you believe it. Who's next? You.
Let's see. Who is next? The glue.
I actually wish I could.
I mean, how do you
It could have been a different
I
chat.
do. Like, imagine
what?
you could play
I think
Smash
someone
Brothers
sent it to
with
you
your
privately,
boys,
so I can tell
and
you
then
right now.
smash your boys.
No,
Like, it would be really chill. Like, it would be so fucking badass if I was gay. But like, really, no, it would be awesome.
Listen.
I-
You never know unless you try it sometimes, right?
I know, okay? I'm so straight, I could suck a dick and it wouldn't be gay.
That's not how that. Why did I teleport here?
Oh!
Why am I just teleporting around? Places?
It can work like that?
You take your garbage out, does that make you a garbage man?
Have you tried that?
I actually wish I could.
I mean, how do you...
I wish I could. I do. Like, imagine you could play Smash Brothers with your boys, and then smash your boys. Like, it would be really chill. Like, it would be so fucking badass if I was gay. But like, really, no, it would be awesome.
Listen. You never know unless you try it sometimes, right?
Why is this? Oh, that is Silver Veil. Never
I'm
mind.
so straight, I could suck a dick and it wouldn't be gay.
An asthma gay. This is how this works now. Listen. Steve. This snake fish talking all this shit.
Cause I just was like, no, I can't have the evidence against me.
How is it evident? We just need to know your name so we can make fun of it. That's how it works. Clinton.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, really? You don't remember my last name?
Nobody does.
You piece of shit. That's fine, bro. That's what you call it.
What the?
Yes. Wait, the jangle.
Hold on. Does that mean you're gay?
Why am I Dangling Destroyer?
The first name starts with an R.
Why did he name, what, the context of that alone, someone to name their junk Dingling Destroyer? What is it? Am I just
It's
the
a gay
king of
porn star name,
Spotlight?
sir.
Yeah, but mine
Hey.
is called Dingling Destroyer.
your name
so
that
that
I'm
means
throwing at the
I've
wrong
had,
person
it has
while I
this
screw
other
around.
contact with other Dingling.
I see.
Hey, no judging.
I will judge as much as I choose.
Okay, Blancy. Well, like I said, it's probably from a private chat, but I remember you sending all these memes and you nearly fucking killed me with them.
Oh, I just skipped over that.
What Pokemon did you catch, Joker?
I caught a little punny, Batman.
Mommy looks kind of hot.
Oh no, Joker. Don't tell me.
You already know, Batman. You know what I'm gonna do to that thing.
And why is Batman doing things to each other? This is confusing as hell.
Batman, there's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman. I can do whatever I want with it.
No, don't do it.
I'm gonna do it, Batman. Batman, I...
Joker, it is desire to have sex with the Pokemon.
Sounds about Joker. Joker. Is he lonely to live in solitude? Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, like, the fact that he has
I don't care
Batman there to witness him have sex with such Pokemon, which means that he had this Pokemon and then just waited till he was with him so that he could then threaten him and have sex with it in front of him.
What? The amount of poor Azula things that have been Azula has just been fucking horrendous. Please.
What
don't.
was it?
It hurts my soul. I don't even know what it is. What? What? Oh, fuck me.
Oh yeah, that guy.
God. Damn it.
The true Giga Chat energy of
I just got that out of my nightmares. How dare you?
Oh, trust me, we're all about nightmares here.
I give you the nightmare that is every fucking thing in the world. I sense a hostile feeling. What? Throw daggers at it. I'm too lazy to move. Throw daggers at it. Oh no, it's mad at me, you frog. What?
Bro. What the fuck?
Bruh. Where did I just tell you
Fuck,
5
I did
minutes
say
ago?
it, didn't I? Oh god. What was the context?
I don't know the context, and I have now
Why did he
asked him
say
for-
that?
Of course it does. I still have family.
Still.
Waka waka. Test it. I don't know what I did, but I still don't like playing that provider right now. They're not giving me credit for that. Why are all the family needs coming back up? Like, why is this happening right now? Like, is there a reason for this? Is there a
Just
reason
need to be
for that?
counted by sanity.
Wait, what? I hate everything. I hate the entire planet that we love on. Right. What? I mean, literally, Darth Vader means Darth Father. I don't know what you're talking about. That's clearly a family thing. Ah, yeah, it's one of those promotional bots that give you promotions for being a promotional bot. I give you the family. I hate everything. I hear you dying and it's just horrendous. It makes my soul confused and lost. How old is his family now?
Oh.
Of course it is. Why? Why do memes make my soul bleed? Why? Why do your memes make my soul bleed, sir? I don't know. You know as well as I do that's entirely correct. What about these poor orphans that we were abandoned? I see. 2014. 2020, what? What?
I knew it. I knew it.
Jesus Christ. That's significantly longer than I was expecting. I thought it was like a year and a half. Like I thought it was before the wedding and everything. Nope.
Hey, he fed
Oh
me.
dear. Yeah, we did it. We beat a dinosaur. A tiara. Ooh. I mean, I'm so fucking confused. I mean, whoops. I'm fucking confused. What the hell? These beans are horrifying.
The fucking.
I hate everything. New players just murder an innocent fucking floating head. Hooray, family. Oh my god. Why you bully? Bam.
Oh.
I didn't have the patience to go that far back. I went back like 30 seconds and gave up.
I mean, I
went to Google.
baby, did you get
2004. What the hell? That's older than most people, man. God, it only lasted 3 days. Ah, thank you, Satan. Ninja flip. Wouldn't they be dead? Why? Until 2023. Whatever month this is that I forget.
Yep.
Where? You do this to me? Why you do this to me? Of course. Self-esteem. What the fuck? I just looked up the Mufasa one because it was killing Franklin, and that was all I got. There's like 3 different ones that I found. Flying car grabs it out of nowhere.
Yes. Send the VTuber clip from Instagram to your coworkers.
I don't even like that style of VTuber. It looks too anime cheap. Whoops. As I screw up my combo and I literally sit on the last one letting you use it because I have the big brain with all the brain. No. Oh, I'm in the tab though. Stab this or wish I had AoEs at this level. Good God. It feels so awkward to have to single target things down. Just a single target things down. Probably stay this one off. That one's easy. I thought it was a kitty cat, but it's an all raw raw raw. Excuse me? By my what now? With my who? Is that English? Kill the crocodile. They probably have finished doing the comb things for the little cheek combs to try and get them out. But I was lazy. Not too far off. I think we got 25 out of the 50 we need. Low level gun that man. I remember when they actually felt like we were doing something. What time is it anyway? 8 o'clock today. Why do you wake up so goddamn early?
Just kind of took a very dress for shit.
I just had this envision of someone trying so desperately to take a shit. Like that polar bear picture. I get all the clean on to me, damn it. That's how I did clean. What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know.
The Jew should have been later. You should have it. No, I wanted to stab it with a booty hole. How dare you?
Mr.
Bro. Did I wait for the limit level 2 or did I just limit break its ass? Too late.
Mister is a demon! I'm a demon slayer!
I knew it! My mom cheated on my dad with a demon! That's why I had so many siblings!
Oh, for fuck's sake. I will explain it to you. Michael Jackson, the most badass, kills humans without mercy and returns to pure disease. That's what happened to your sister.
Fucking Michael Jackson! Thought he was a weirdo returning children as demons?
I was playing
What?
with children, but I think she was the next one who
Why is Michael Jackson trying to children and demons? Can you explain this? This is because I don't know. I probably killed myself. Now I'll be fine. So this is low ass level. I don't need to get off the boss and do anything. No level 1. Yay, pointless class job rewards. Ooh. Get out of here. Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I did it easy. I'm level 65 on a ninja class that I've never. Basically,
Goggle
get off the fucking dog. Thank you. The dog took forever to get though. Give me the other dog.
goddamn toys and show them some fucking respect.
Yeah, just when someone tells you.
There's just memes going on in the background now. What? I don't understand. I really don't understand any of this. My bitrate's been pretty good this whole time, actually, so I might be able to stream randomly for fun. Because I can. Piggy bank. So I throw my dog through a flaming flame. Like this flaming flame.
To date, someone did a Japanese dub of just a mouse.
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
There's just some things that you just can't understand or describe. But anyway, like I was saying like 5 million years ago before I died up with Fossa being saved by Dom Toretto, on your Twitch stream, we should just stream you, me, Orca, and BDB just watching Salty Bet and just betting on the matches that come up.
I mean, I don't think you can watch other people's YouTube and stuff without permission.
No, it's not a YouTube. It's literally a whole thing you can. It's just a site where you just watch Salty Bet.
Yeah. You know how confusing that'll be? It'll be confusing. Yeah, lick the salty bits off the dry bits, off the wet bits, back into the salty bits. What? I don't even know what I said, and I'm the one who said
I don't know either, but basically it is a website, and we can just watch that shit. It's not a matter of will we get in trouble with another YouTuber. It's just a case of how you gotta set it up so that we're watching it.
I mean, fair.
And I think if we could all figure out how to set up so we could watch it.
I'd have to run it through, like, the Discord and stuff and go from there.
That's basically how I'm seeing it too. But I really think it would be really cool if we can make that happen, because I think
I don't care about the reputation. I remember that. We talked about that a while ago, I just wasn't really sure what it was. I should probably.
Yeah,
go
we
research
did.
it a bit.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it, but I think, but after that point, we got busy and we just kind of moved on to the subject. But I really feel like we should look back into that because salty bit matches, aside from being AIs fighting each other, the fact is that it's just random. It's completely random. You don't know what's gonna come up, and the fact that it just opens us up to just talk about either like different genres, because it has dozens to almost near thousands to millions of different sprites from all over anime and all over cartoons. So we will not run out of characters that we can talk about and shitposting we can talk about. That and the fact that we can do some sort of betting system for just ourselves, of course, that we can do.
That sounds horrifying, but also hilarious.
That's what I mean. Like imagine us in a situation where we're betting against each other, and some of us are actively sabotaging each other.
I know you live in Vegas and stuff, but I think you have a gambling addiction, sir.
I don't. Okay, first of all, I don't even gamble.
I don't even gamble. Meanwhile, I want to gamble here.
Wait. Why is it turning around on me now? Hold on. Wait a minute.
I don't know. I just don't know.
God,
That's just why.
yeah, unfair bastards.
That's the point, though.
Really, it's really not. Fuck you.
Ayo. That's just to get us to watch memes and shit, which could be kind of amusing.
Right.
Not a bad idea, to be fair. I kind of like the idea.
Yeah, and plus, it can be a case where we don't have to play a game. We can literally just all sit back, chillax, watch something, and just laugh at stupid shit.
So pretty much just laugh at each other. Got it.
Laugh at our picks, laugh at what's on the screen, laugh at the concept, laugh at how broken or weak a character is. Like it's tons of like extreme fun. That the joy of it comes less in trying to actually play what's on the screen, and more of just reacting to what's happening.
I see.
I mean, I'll even go as far as to do the fucking art for this thing if you do it.
Eventually, I think. Still have a few things to learn, so I still don't know how to, connect the Discord to the actual consoles and stuff to actually allow for the screen sharing and the shocks and stuff. I'm working on figuring that out and watching videos on stuff. So I know more.
I could probably jump in that research and help.
I was hoping for fiber optic to be up and ready soon, but as far as I can tell, I've got another couple months before that happens. Right now, I've had my internet fixed again, upgraded and adjusted or something. I don't know how to explain it. But it works better than it did, which is nice. Instead of getting 4 or 5 upload, now I'm getting back to approximately 10, 12. Still isn't great, but it's better than it was. Currently, my bitrate's solid and everything's streaming at 1080, so can't really complain there.
Oh, and also Salty Bit is Twitch friendly. I forgot to mention that. It is, you can even place bets through Twitch.
Ah, makes sense. I still got a lot of things to learn about Twitch because it's such a goddamn clusterfuck of money grubbing people and money grubbing promotional things and all that stuff. It's really just like what ones are logical, what ones are fake, what ones are BS.
What
all
the fuck,
annoying
Wild
things.
Woody versus
Woody
Samurai Johnny?
I skip all your cutscenes. Screw you, Lamius. Screw the
Okay,
Lamius.
well I'm watching. Okay, it turns out I literally am accidentally watching a live event.
Skip them all. Skip them all.
Skip everything. Samurai Johnny is whooping Woody's ass.
Okay. Interesting.
I am an old woman.
Indeed.
Okay. I had a minor audio error, apparently. Do I sound less annoying than I did 5 minutes ago? No. Why would I?
Depends.
It depends. I had to go help Doggo. I had to go help Doggo. I had to let that Doggo go.
I've still been in the same position I've been in.
I'm a pizza delivery slut, you say.
I wish that was my problem.
I have far too many problems to make into one problem. Why the hell do I have so many goddamn quests from this bitch? I mean, XP is XP, but still, goddamn. How many sexy quests are you giving me, sexy snake lady? Thank you, sexy snake lady. I appreciate experience. This is nice. Damn it, BDB. The fuck? That sounds dirty and kinky. Nice. Get in that tank. It's gonna take 10 minutes to load now. Interesting. Regardless, though. I have to figure out... I think I actually need a second microphone to do that. I think about it. Because I'm trying to figure out how to get the PlayStation chat to be there, but separate, so I don't sound like complete ass to this headset. I guess it doesn't matter. Oh well.
Would it be you'd probably have to mute yourself somewhere else, somewhere in the channels?
Probably.
Because if you have your own audio equipment, and if you can somehow just filter out your audio from the party chat and just use your audio from the handset recording,
yeah, that would be an OBS thing. Just, I'm a noob to OBS right now. I have a basic setup, but I just currently when I'm streaming through the console, it's not connected.
Either that, or we probably would have to just speak to a different server to talk, like Discord was aforementioned.
which is an option.
Which, I mean, if we were to all do it, because I have one, you have one, Orca has one, I'm not sure B2B, but setting up a Discord is not like the end of the world, so worst case scenario, we have to make a new one, or
I'm actually probably just gonna make a separate Discord just for everything kind of thing.
which would probably be a better option, because that way you can kind of keep this Discord channel free from random people jumping in, or people from the prior server jumping in.
I'm thinking I'll put a private Discord for us to just shoot the shit in, and then like maybe in 20 years when I'm almost whatever, put member point or member spots if there's members, something like that. Why did I do that? I know I don't have that right now. How would I do that? Whatever. It's option to figure out as time goes. Spin to it. Because I have no life, so I might as well screw around and play video games. Because I can. Ta-da! Smack the BDB in the bumper. As I said, it was something I would prefer to do with my friends who didn't really care about anything else.
Well, if anything to help the homies succeed in their side endeavors to hopefully build it. There's always a fine side activity to do. That it keeps me away from depression.
Delicious depression that everybody fucking has anymore because it's a depressing ass world. Come here, giant monkey. I should have gone the other way. Well, they're all ranged anyways, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Yeet. Let's go to your right side, because you're swinging on your left side, because this is how things work. What? Is that English?
Listen, that's just, that's just the battle cry of things. That's weird. Anyone destroy or destroy anything on his way.
I love how the Black Mage isn't casting during this downtime. Like, what? Maybe they were relocating still, never mind. Bonk. I should figure out how to set it up so I can see my timers first. You suck. Did you see any of the live letter stuff, TDB? Fuck. They didn't. Yeah, there's more images and stuff. I was kind of hoping to see if they were going to say changes to this class or that class yet, because there's supposed to be, or maybe it was, some people say it was mentioned, I didn't remember hearing it. So there's going to be an adjustment to the Paladin's output and damage again, because it kind of needs it. And the Dragoon's getting some sort of update as well, which is interesting. The Dragoon's not in the floor as much as it should be, okay? We all know this. But that's how it goes, right? I love it when I get, like, AI-generated ads to, like, make my Twitch stream better. Yeah, no, I don't care at the moment. Make your Twitch stream more twitchy. I should put sprint on my bar, but I'm lazy and I don't need it. Yeet. No one cares about the lore of the dungeon. I meant to hit that instead of that, but oh well. I'm a terrible. It's a me, a terrible. Fuck are you, Mario? Anybody here seen the Mario movie? Seriously? Or was it just Orca and his girlfriend?
What? Oh, fuck.
I mean, nothing can defeat the 1993 Mario movie. That was the best Mario movie ever made, okay? You all know this to be the truth. How dare you disagree with the truth?
I mean, I'm just more doing research on fucking comics right now, so I can try to make an actual impressive mini comic here.
I see. Mini comic defense. Oh, it doesn't work. Hey. Same with B2B. Why do you yawn right when I'm not yawning? You bastard. Wow. Then teleport back to the middle. Thank you. Used that little sword. It's a teleport. I should have just jumped into it and took the Doom. Been an absolute fucking sledgehammer. Would have been much more amusing than what I actually did. You can slice and dice, cutting a hole in half. When your weird ass bloomers. Blue. Random stayed in that because I'm a BTS idiot. Right. Okay. Remember Black Mage Key Cat Man? Okay, Key Cat Man. Well, Tiger. 1, 1, 2. Where's 3? That's 4. I walked into that, yay me. I am the greatest. Thank you. I'm an idiot, is what I should have said. But oh well. Can we kill this bitch? Come on. We got 3% HP. Do it. There you go.
If I change this...
Mufasa means. Wait, was that when the new Lion King remake? No, it couldn't have been when Lion King remake came out, because that came out way earlier than that, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
It must have been like the last Fast and Furious movie that had the family bullshit.
I told you it was right around Fast and Furious. When the last one came out, and then when they announced that they were trying to go to space for the next one. That's exactly how I remember it.
Oh, really? Huh.
God
Into
damn
win.
it.
God damn it, there's too many nipples. What?
No, I gotta fucking rewrite shit again, god damn it.
Maybe you should not have spelling errors. Or maybe you should do it on a computer.
Don't tell me, damn it. I'm about ready to just start using a kid instead of notebooks, because I swear to God.
Just use notebook on your notebook. Yes. What the fuck? Why did I even...
That.
I'm an idiot. Okay.
I mean, we know this, but we still love you and keep you around, so just take that as it is. Like, I love how this fucking short story, where it's like collection of like,
Damn black mages.
Because you're destined to do this BDB.
You're not even a new player. Why are you so stupid? I mean, the number of people who just ignore the fact that an ad is on them just drives me mad. I can't see all the ads. Oh well. What the? Why would I? Whatever. Dun, 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 dun. You know, I disabled Nightbot because he was racist, by the way. I don't know how he was racist, but he was racist. Because he was a knight. Why did I do that? Out of order again. Too much time screwing around and then ninja all my stuff out of order.
Fuck, that shit.
I just fear a headset being massacred.
Yeah, that's kind of just my own setup right now. Because I work like a goddamn maniac.
You should relax, sir. It's better for your health.
I physically can't relax.
Okay, I was definitely not in that, but sure.
Makes me paranoid.
Stupid goddamn turtle ass. Rip off Teenage Mutant Ninja bitch ass enemy.
Oh no, oh and Lansing, I did come up with a name.
Guardians of the Galaxy hentai, you say?
I mean, depending on how you look at it.
Really, depending on how I look at it. I don't know if I like that.
I mean, you can already tell that's where he's going.
Ooh. Horrifying.
There's certain things you don't want to imagine and things you don't want to know exist, okay?
I mean, I feel like I want to know everything for some reason and then go completely insane. Wait, I already am. No, I'm a failure. Why do you centralize? Go to the closest fucking thing to keep attacking. Idiot. I guess they're all ranged, so it doesn't really matter, but still, I'm the only melee. I'm melee. I really wish I had more defense buffs for like the group. And sometimes I feel like the Gunbreaker just needs something to give to the group defensively. Makes more sense. Why did I do it out of order again? I'll wait for the boss. Thank you. I'm an old woman, how dare I cough. So I've been checking my bitrate and my stuff. Everything seems to be good. It didn't drop down below 1080 for the resolution. Bastard ass turtle. Well, I should be fine. I just need to figure out a game or two to play, set a schedule, and just play them. That's about it. Easy peasy, slicey squeaky. I don't want any of this. I don't want any of it. I don't want any of it, damn it. Whoops, I didn't even get past the turtle's face. It made him slimy, and I kind of like it because he's an aquatic creature, so it makes sense. Right? Right. Yeah. And then I need to... I'll just do 50, 60, 70. I'll only get a 60 damage, but whatever. Animal fodder. Isn't that just kind of like feces?
I mean, Animal Farm is essentially a deconstruction and a criticism of classism and also the faults in certain governing systems.
Bruh, why are you so political?
What? That's what it is.
I mean, the kids game, how dare you?
Well, there's the kids game, and then there's also the actual, you know, fucking book that has themes of murder and classism and racism and shit. I mean, trust me, there's way worse books I can just... There's way worse books I can give you if you really want to find a fucked up book for kids. Or to just give to kids. Try reading Blood Meridian. Written by the same guy who wrote Country for Old Men. But I assure you, that book is fucking... It's... If you had faith in humanity, don't read that book.
No, I've never had faith in humanity. I
Then
expect
read
us
that
to
book
doom
because-
ourselves.
Oh yeah, that book will let you know right away that... Oh my god, if you thought people could get worse, you don't know how bad they can get. Because... My god, that book had so much rape in it.
That's the wrong thing.
It had so much rape in it. Why have so much rape in it?
Because... Why would a children's book have rape in it? That's fucked up.
I mean, it's not a kid's book. That's the thing. It's a novel, like I said, from the same man who wrote No Country for Old Men, which a trend that I've seen in his work, which rings so true in that book specifically, is it is a critique and an analyzation about Americans, specifically the West, and its experience with violence, death, humanity, and our moral fibers that form our society, and brings them into question and brings it to a morbid realization and analyzation about really just our own history as humans on this earth.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, human beings have done the worst possible things because we're capable of it.
Yes.
So.
Well, in the Blood Meridian, for example, the group that you follow happily go around and commit acts of murder, rape, assaulting, just horrible, despicable acts. Well, of course, the main character at points sometimes detests action. He still gives in to the action in question, and one of the characters, who is essentially the main, almost the antagonist of the book, despite the book being full of no good people, and the main antagonist really is Judge Holden.
What? Why is that name familiar?
Judge Holden is
this embodiment of the Wild West. He is the Wild West. He is its violence, its obsession with sex, it's the obsession with violence, it's the obsession with war.
The West is, or was, a very interesting time.
The Wild West was a time that, while some would describe it as a place of freedom and a place of discovery of a land unknown, on the other hand, it was a time full of barbarous acts, butchery, debauchery.
I mean, it was a time where you took what you took and that was yours. And everybody wanted everything because everything was available, especially in the western states.
Right, and in the Wild West, especially pre-Civil War era, it was a time that really had no defined rules, or really rules that spread throughout distances, nor did it have proper boundaries, or really much in the wake of any form of system or government that would properly control and monitor and keep your line. It was, like I said, it was pure freedom. You could be and do what you wanted. Of course, penalties came for that freedom, but still, nonetheless, you could still pillage, you can still do as you pleased, and still live the life you chose. I.e., this is what the book is essentially, in a way, is showing, is that Judge Holden and the kid in the book both represent these two elements of the West. Judge Holden represents the vile, disgusting nature of the Wild West, while the kid represents more of what we would see as like the middleman, the
conscience,
the straight, the conscience and the straight of the story.
That's kind of interesting. Those type of stories are always sort of interesting to look at, but if you look at the time that it takes place, I imagine the world was significantly worse than what the book portrayed.
No, the book pretty much gives you an accurate display about how shitty it was. Literally, the first introduction of the judge, he breaks into a tent where a preacher's giving a sermon. He gets on the stage and calls out the preacher for being a fraud. The whole crowd erupts into violence and chaos, and the preacher and several clergymen die. So in the bar, and then the kid and another fellow go to the bar where the judge is. They're sitting, and he asks the judge, "How did you know him from that town?" He's like, "I didn't." "But weren't you in that town?" "I wasn't." So he just told both these men that he lied, he made up all that shit, and he got all those people in that tent killed. Just because he wanted to.
New people.
That, and also the fact that he is a prolific
A what now?
A serial.
Huh. That makes it kind of amusing nonetheless.
Yeah.
Back then, bounty hunters were just fucking murderers for hire, but legally.
Yep, that was pretty much some people's.
I wish healers would heal people.
His victims range from old to young, very young. But yeah, no, the whole crux of this, not the whole crux, but the whole concept, like I said, is just pretty much analyzing that period and also the stark warnings that it gave to us as a society as a whole, as our violent nature, our true instincts, and overall our capacity for violence and debauchery, and how far we as humans can truly go in the end of it.
And human beings have always been capable of horrendous things. Just depends on if it's normalized around you during the time when it feels like it's wrong.
Right, and of course Blood Meridian, which, I mean, the title almost kind of gives it away, is that this is essentially the last hurrah of this era before the Civil War, and then the rest, and then of course the Reconstruction period, and then following suit with Manifest Destiny, and the more of the establishing of the American government as we know it today, and the slower buildings of the refining of the country as a whole to minimize the barbarisy and all the activity that would have gone on in the Wild West normally. Which the bounty hunter was then replaced with the lawman.
The sheriffs eventually became the law, and they had to pay the bounty hunters, and then eventually declined into no bounty hunters, and so on and so forth. Yeah, well, it was an interesting place at that time. It wasn't a good place, but it was interesting. Shank. I need 2 stone tablets, don't we? I need one of those needs to be a stone tablet. Or do we have to? It doesn't display if we have to. We must have to. I might just be blind. This is fine. Anyways. Okay, BDB. Get a new car. Your car sucks. Why you bully the car, man? Dun. Slice the lizard's booty hole. Take them. At them. Okay. Alright, now we take them. I should have gone to the farther one because the healer wasn't paying attention. It's too late now, guys.
I'd say that book, in discovering that book, was one of the better highlights of literacy that I've discovered in recent literacy discovering after I ran into the book of one of those questionable individuals.
Questionable individuals. It makes me want to watch Hateful Eight, but at 2 times speed, due to the fact that it's 3 hours long for no reason.
Well, questionable individuals, I mean, is in more of those questionable political gentlemen.
You mean politicians? Yeah, they're everywhere.
No, worse than that.
American politicians.
Well, that's just cancer. That's just unbelievable. I'm talking more about the grifter kind and the new genre that has spawned recently. Well, actually, not recently, but a while back, which is the anti-woke, anti-SJW comic creators.
I mean, just make the. I don't understand why it's such an issue just to make the character how you want to make the character. Like, that character's not gay, but he looks gay, so? He's a femboy, deal with it. That character looks like a squirrel. Why didn't you make it gay? Why are all these characters straight now? Or like, because the creator chose to make them straight. And people get mad about it, and it drives me insane, because I don't give a shit what you think. I'm creating a character, I will make the character the way I want to make the character. Have a nice day. No, you have to be inclusive. You have to make bi and non-binary characters. Make a shark character. You have to make a character that likes pizza. Like, why not? It's just unnecessary, to be honest. But whatever. People are doing stupid shit.
There's those bitches, and then there's the other side of those bitches. Which, trust me, the other side of the bitches. Like, if you think that's bad, I assure you, you haven't seen the caliber I've seen them go.
Oh, I know they're absolute assholes out there. There's lots of them.
Oh, no. Asshole does not describe them. Human pieces of living shit better describe them.
I mean, humanity is going to devolve before it evolves.
Well, that's always been our case. We devolve before we realize, okay, we went too far to the wrong direction.
Yeah, it usually starts with like a war caused by Germany or something like that. That was a joke, by the way.
Oh, I know, but but no, because a prime example was there was a comic that came out by one of these anti folks, not anti-evil, but you know, anti-woke folks. And I looked at the comic, and as I was just looking at it, I was just like, there's art errors everywhere. There's continuity errors. It's like,
why was it published if it's so gang?
Because they sold it under the moniker of if it's non-woke, anti-woke. Because this is the strategy for some of these grifters who they attach themselves to these people, to these groups who may have a certain belief or may just not like a certain direction a certain topic gone. Which, will I say that there have been some runs of Marvel these comics?
You don't need to be anti-woke. You need to be logical. That's all there is to it.
See, that's the problem, though. We have these same people that are taking these books that may have genuine issues, but then flipping the issue not at being the quality of the writing and the intricacies of the logic that's being followed in the book, and more about the fact that there's this character, or the fact that there's this type of thing, or that type of thing, or trying to keep teaching the idea that comics are always going to be political and never been this, when the truth is, comics have always been handling the different political views and whatnot for generations. You gotta take Captain America's first issue him punching Hitler in the face. The X-Men was an allegory for civil rights. And they also had an arc about a disease that acted similar to AIDS. We had Superman and his American citizenship. And his original motto was "Truth was just the American way." Politics has always been in comic books. It's never not been. It's never been apolitical. So this same group has been pushing this concept of, oh, it never was. Why don't we go back to the good old days, the good version of X-Men in the 90s? And like, in the 90s, they did that exactly, if not more.
I don't know. We need to move towards more inclusive and acceptance of things, and just less belonging to groups and separation issues that are going on. Like, I belong to this group, therefore that group's bad, or these people don't like this. And more better off just going understanding and logic, rather than just allowed.
Or of course trying to push the concept that, oh, comics are dying because of this, when the sales don't mirror that. You can argue about, like I said, you can argue about if some of these books go into shit category. Yeah, some of them fucking do. I'm not gonna deny that. But Marvel and DC are not closing their doors anytime soon. And,
I mean, Comixology is the one that got screwed over by Amazon buying it out, basically, and now online comics are suffering significantly. But that's just an adjustment period, to be fair.
That's exactly. Comics will never, as a business, never die, And the two big leagues in the industry, which is Marvel
Dark
and
Horse?
DC, and Dark Horse, will not go anywhere.
Yeah, because if you look at manga, this is just Western manga, technically. It's
Right.
pretty much
And
all
that's
it is.
and that's another thing. The fact that they'll throw in the whole manga is killing American comics, which is like, how are you trying to save American comics, but then also trying to say that that manga is just killing it outright and there's no hope for it?
Oh, it's
Which
stupid.
again, not true.
There's a lot of
And
mangas with
also
really shit art styles and things that no one likes. Everybody likes a good doujin, though.
Well, can't go wrong with those, my man.
Mufasa doujin. It's all about family doujin. Ah, damn it, doujin. This is just wrong, and I think it's hilarious. I never see under views, apparently. Oh, I also missed. Click the fucking dial. I live. Okay. Do I have better gear? No. Well, that's takers. Why did I go invisible, stupid? Whatever. I don't know. The thing I don't understand is why people are calling it extremely niche now. Meanwhile, I know it's pretty much just as popular. It's just not in the places where it should be. Like, some of it should be in schools. It sounds weird, but...
Well, in the last time I was in Las Vegas, the first time I was in Las Vegas, in my library at the school I went to, they did have books. They did have comic books that were available to small children and teenagers. In the library, they also have comic books as well for any demographic, including children and teenagers. I think that the issue that isn't less that they're a niche market. I think it's that there's people trying to push the idea that they're a niche market. Because, like I said, it's easier to try to discredit your competition by them trying to throw money and sales into the mix. Because, for example, the same guy I talked about, or at least I've always criticized for his weird takes on comics and politics, he tries to decry his critics by saying that, oh, my book made over $3 million. My book made $3 million. You made no money. Which doesn't deflate the arguments that they're bringing against his book, which have flaws up the ass. But
he's found an audience that enjoys that, and that's really all there is to it.
precisely, you found an audience who either is suckered into it, who genuinely like it, or who just don't care.
I mean, yeah, that's how it is. Some people find shit that's janky and comedic, and they go, "I like this. I'm gonna keep reading it."
Yeah,
and go on from there. They might not even think it's good, but they just enjoy it. Enjoying something is perfectly acceptable. I don't see the issue.
Precisely.
Why use it politically, though? I don't get that. Like, my book's better than yours because of pizza.
Because what's also weird is that in the same vein, they'll then try to attempt to use books or these comics to try to push certain ideas and beliefs that they probably wouldn't get across in any other type of way, or in a less convincing manner. So, in instances of, like, when we're talking about, like, books that maybe get, or actually, a better example is Last Jedi. Now, we're disregarding what we both agree and disagree about the film. We can both agree that there were genuine examples of fuckery that happened with fans going overboard.
It's always fans going overboard.
Right. Now, the same people I talk about, the grifters and the political heads, they take it and they spin it at an angle that's just like, what the fuck? We weren't even talking about that. What the fuck? And trying to worm in these ideas and thoughts that then either start to make people get uncomfortable and leave, or be gullible and start trying and becoming more acceptable to these ideas, and not realizing that what they're trying to do, which is to try to influence them with with these weird fucking thoughts and talking points that may not even really be that honest or true in the whole point.
No, that's just fucking political advantage and bullshit they're trying to seek, which just is unnecessary. Entertainment is being brutalized.
And to be fair, the anti-SJW comic reviewers, at one fucking point, everyone and their moms watched them, and some of them were like, yeah, we look at that book and go, yeah, that's shit, that's shitty, yeah, fuck that book. But as we've all recently gotten older and looked at other forms of media, it's been easier to see that you have people who either are liking a certain aspect of a book, and they just can't let go of the fact that that book is either one, outdated, or two, the fact that it's moving on, or two, the fact that you're letting your own political views cloud your own ideas about what comics have always been and are. Like how
just a form of entertainment and media. That's all they've ever been.
Right. Which, yeah.
And how to teach kids who don't have an attention span how to read better by, having pictures. Sounds terrible, but it's one thing that actually works.
It helps. It fucking helps. I mean, like, for example, when Riri Williams came into the fray, and there were genuine issues with the book. Like, her origin was kind of wonky. The way Iron Man was introduced was taken out from the fight was a little wonky. But still, nonetheless, sure. An apprentice to Tony Stark. Okay, let's see what you got. Because legacy characters have never been a new thing; they've always existed. The issue that some of these individuals were taking with wasn't the fact that the book had been kind of rushed in her legacy takeover of the role. They criticized tons of other things other than the systems of the story. Always talking about political or outside shit that has almost nearly nothing to fucking do with the real issue at hand with Riri Williams. The same thing with Black Panthers. The same thing with the same thing with all the other legacy characters that got shit on, like Kamala Khan, or Miles Morales, or oh shit, what's I don't remember. I'll think of it later, but and then try and go with the notion of the great replacement of taking our classical heroes and removing them and taking them out of the spotlight, and it's like they're not taken from the spot; they're still there.
Oh, unless you fucking watch She-Hulk, in which case they just butcher characters that don't need to be butchered.
Yeah, of course. She-Hulk is definitely a fucking butchering of the character, and that again can just be chalked up to they saw some of the beats of She-Hulk, but not really like what made She-Hulk She-Hulk. And the fourth wall breaking is, yes, in the book, but it's done a little more cleverly. Like, that's the key thing. A lot of the things in the show that it did were done in the comic, but it was done with a more clever and more comedic charm to it, and with actual, like, unique takes on that character as a whole.
Well, I mean, I don't remember her mocking the history of people who suffered and died like she did in the show, so I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like fundamentally non-ascending to other characters, and then not taking into account how She-Hulk the comic used its humor and used its fourth wall humor in its instances that it did.
Fair enough.
But do those folks say that? Nope. They just go into the usual buzzwords and then call it.
It's because you're just using the mob mentality of people who are annoyed and uncomfortable and forcing them into one generalized group, which is laziness. And after COVID, everybody's just looking for some sort of belonging or some sort of understanding.
Well, most especially, humans have always sought some sort of belonging. Shut the fuck up. Humans have always tried to find some type of belonging or some type of reason or purpose to explain why things are the way they are. Whether it be trying to find religion and God to try to explain why we exist and our purpose, or trying to find political parties to try to explain why certain things may not be working or how things could be better. And when COVID hit, it amplified because at that point, people were at their lowest. And once we were right out of COVID and we were trying to build ourselves back up, that's when people started to take to the forms they did to build themselves back up and rebuild their identities. As horrid as an idea that is, a lot of them resorted to the internet, and some of them found people who were probably not the ideal people to be referencing for building your character or building an identity. Such as running to the influencers of now that we run into, who preach concepts like that we of course, you know, have joked about before, but there are those groups such as the genuinely anti-trans and transphobic mobs, the actual sexist piece of shit crowd, and racist audiences. And so far, there's some that are just clearly fucking joking. And then there's some who are not joking, but are trying to say they're joking, so that when their detractors call them out, their audience can go, well, no, you're just not understanding what he's trying to say. Look at what he's really saying here, and then just spout whatever nonsensical point he's trying to get at.
The point is very simple. Men and women are different, but they are perfectly the same in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the working environment in the world, because that's how it works. Genetically different, big fucking deal. Doesn't mean you can't be smarter or dumber than someone else.
But oh no,
I always found that funny.
You see this law here that just simply adds certain peoples to protections. No, that's an anti-speech law. That's a discrimination for us law. They're gonna destroy the freedoms we have with this law, even though it just adds people to non-discrimination law.
So, discrimination isn't exactly... It's a weird gray area, just like censorship, because it's to prevent misinformation, lies, and manipulation, but you're within your rights and freedom to lie and manipulate someone. But then again, you can be punished for it, and it is considered legal when it takes over a certain amount of actions or amount of time or causes harm or indirectly does things along those lines. But the truth is, not knowing how far you can and cannot go depends on the or knowing how far you can and cannot go depends on the person, depends on what they're capable of, it depends on actually how their actions end up. But in the long run, that person or those people are responsible for their own actions regardless. So saying something like, you should beat that guy up because they're this or that, and they do it, should you be punished for being an absolute twisted person and pushing someone towards something like that? Or should it just be the person who committed the action? And that became a serious issue, and that's why there's censorship, and that's why there's libel and manipulation punishments and things along those lines. But in a lot of ways, they are too far or not enough. So getting the balance is extremely difficult because human beings are not the same, and it will take less for one human being to be manipulated than another.
Well, yes,
now, you should be able to say to anyone what you want.
And that is why there were attempted courses to try to see these patterns and effects of discrimination or things in law and history, but usually those have just been shot down. And ultimately, when it comes to the anti-discrimination laws as a whole, the main objective, of course, is never to try to say that, oh, you just can't say a single fucking thing. The point is trying to prevent individuals from taking... Hello?
Alright. What, did you just answer a phone?
No, it just went silent for like a brief minute. But no, as I was saying, was that it was trying...
I knew BDB was leaving
Trying-
soon.
Oh yeah, it's trying to mitigate the proper way I'm trying to say is that while yes we are truly free to say, speak, and feel how we please, to try to prevent individuals from using that same freedom to do harm to others with malicious intent.
That's the interesting thing. It doesn't even have to be malicious intent. It can just be a joke someone heard and started twisting or started saying that they found funny that others don't, and continued on and on and on and on and on that they thought was funny that started getting darker and darker and darker and weirder and weirder and weirder, and it becomes more harassment and more violent and more difficult and less funny. And eventually it gets twisted into something horrible, which does happen.
Yes, it happened to me. Yes, and it's one of the things that happened to me.
The truth is, people should be educated enough to understand that they, especially amongst adults, that's where the difficulty I find is. Adults should be taught enough, understood enough to know that even if it is a joke, that they should double check, or that they should just ignore it or not, or make their opinion known to that person, and not go off to a bunch of other people and make a big deal out of something that doesn't need to be. Because it's become an issue, and it happened to you, because I know, because instead of asking for clarification or understanding, they just blew everything out of proportion and went into a stupid state of panic. Which is a problem. And as an adult, that shouldn't happen. Because as an adult, you should be like, I don't understand this, what do you mean? Is this a serious threat, or is this, like, what is this? It shouldn't be that hard to do. But adults just don't exist anymore.
Well,
That sounds terrible, but it's true.
Right, and right there, it comes down more to a case of society not trying to encourage the education and the mental maturity and the mental maturing of its society, instead of keeping them into a regressed state of mind, so that they can easily be formed into mob mentalities, or be easily duped and manipulated to do stupid or say stupid shit to help them help whoever or whatever they need or want for. An educated man is a dangerous man.
I feel like education's failing, to be honest.
It is failing, and it's failing not for the reasons that a Democrat or Republican preaches. It's failing because of the fact that we are still bogged in these us versus them mentality. The fact that we are still bogged with not just being allowed to discuss concepts and ideas really with one another, whether or not we find it to be either absurd or controversial, and the fact that we are, instead of trying to open ourselves up to ideas that we may be foreign to, we are still closing ourselves off to these ideas. I.e., in the case of what's happening in Texas, where Texas is outright banning all forms of books and all forms of anything, and banning all forms of transgender anything in an attempt to just quote-unquote protect the children, even though the main cause of death that have so far been proven in children is, of course, trafficking, pedophilia, and gun violence. It's like those are the main contributors to children suffering and dying, but we're still hinging on this because not because it has a based in reality of it happening. It's just because either you find it uncomfortable personally, or your religion somewhere just says that that's just not something you do. Which, fine by whatever standard, you can have that. But if you're really gonna sit here and say that that's the reason why America's corrupt, or that's why children are not safe, then you're clearly missing the point, and that's why we still have these incidents today with the shootings, with the assaults and actions taken by groups of people, because instead of trying to build public awareness and societal understanding about these different concepts, which keep keeping ourselves in the dark period and in the dark ages.
Yeah.
Not allowing ourselves to move past.
Then again, it needs to be people need to be sat down and taught. You can question these things. You can seek answers. You can try to understand someone. And if you can't, then you can just accept that and move on. But instead it's just, I don't understand, so I just don't want to be around it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it, kind of thing. which is strange to me, because if I don't understand something and I can't figure out how to understand it, then I just have to keep trying to understand it. Or I simply accept that that's how it is. But it's just not out there anymore. Common sense is dead. And gun law is really simple. Just every gun should be registered to a person. Like a vehicle. There you go. Everybody knows exactly whose gun is what and what gun shoots what. And there's nothing else to it. I like the idea of that, though, where guns are all fingerprint locked, so that everybody has a fingerprint gun. This is what movie was that from? This is still a future movie. And no one can use a gun unless it's their fingerprint and registered to them, and the only way you can sell it is by taking it to a gun shop. Having that all reset.
Guns.
Yeah. And it is kind of true. That is a thing. Oh, this is a, okay, this is a solo mission. I'm just gonna go turn these in and level up. I found it amusing. That was an issue to some people. And I'm like, doesn't that prevent all sorts of problems, though? It damages my gun laws. Fair. But they have the right to bear arms. The bear arms. Yes. It's strange. The world is strange and sad.
Yep. And I'd say more or less. I'd say more is that it's not that it's dead. It's that it's not being made as a concept for people to actually grasp properly. Because again, we have, and I know that we did really talk about it. We did talk about things like the applications of course, like critical race theory. Well, the main contention is that the obvious main big reason that's increased by certain groups is the fact that it's of course just trying to shame white people for past deeds and activities when in reality it's more of a course regarding law, and it's not trying, and its main goal isn't to try and make you feel bad for these past deeds or trying to say that, this is all white people's doing. It's trying to analyze and understand how in the past and how in other instances that things such as race and other factors were played a part into building certain types of laws, or how laws were interpreted, and thus how to prevent or how to recognize when actions or laws like those are occurring. Which can be helpful because literally nowadays we are seeing laws that are actively doing the very thing that we're afraid of them doing, which is restricting freedom or restricting certain groups from certain things, and basing it under the grounds of, we're just trying to protect group A, when in reality you're not protecting yourself, you're protecting yourself. You're protecting your own beliefs about what you believe.
That's true.
And I did say prior when we first discussed that. Now, I will admit, some teachers are kind of shit at it, but you know what? You know what's a place to do? The fact that there's no funding or material given to these teachers, and some teachers are just shitty. They're just shitty.
Yeah, there's some teachers that just wanted to push their agenda and their agenda only. That was a serious issue.
Yeah, and the teachers that are shitty. And there's teachers...
I think a lot of it should have been in history class, to be fair. Like, the history of slavery, the history of these races and why they developed in these areas should have been taught in history. It shouldn't have been taught as a race theory. It should have been shown as this is why these differences exist because of evolution. But no, evolution isn't accepted in some places, which doesn't make sense.
Again, it's less of a course trying to talk about an evolutionary thing. It's more talking about the systems and laws that are being played. And again,
but they never talked about half the laws. That's the thing. A lot of them were just like, this is how it is because these people were like this, and this race is different and is better than that race because of this kind of shit. It was just like, what? Why are they better at this than better than that, but worse at this? It was mind-boggling to me.
Okay, hold on. There's something fishy about this one because that's so
I'm talking about the ones that were basically the main reason that type of thing was canceled. because those courses were canceled in Texas and other places like that, just due to the fact that
Okay,
they.
so you should have said that, alright, because that's Texas. Okay, so one of the main issues with that already right off the bat is that those are the bad teachers I was talking about, and
Yeah,
two,
exactly.
Texas education system is pretty low on them, and the fact that, again, the actual founders of the people who actually tried to design and initially started this course do not talk about the things that the Texas people will talk about it as. Because some teachers in Texas who teach are not at all trying to actually teach things of like nuance or understanding about issues. I mean, for example, they still preach and bitch about the Alamo to this fucking day.
Which makes no goddamn sense.
Exactly. So there's our problem. That's where this was the contention. That's what I didn't get last time. But now you just said where it's from. I now get what's happening. Yeah, no. If you get it from fucking Texans, trust me, I assure you.
I don't really understand why it became a mandatory course in like a business class or a fucking nursing course. Like what?
Not a mandatory course. That's the thing.
It became one for a while, from what I remember in certain classes. I don't remember what class it was, but it was really stupid.
If it had to be, it probably had to do for law, and it was just mainly more than likely just, again, to help to better understand and grasp the judicial system, its history, and its actions and activities in the years it's been established. So that's probably where it's being mandatory as, and that's where it would initially be found best. Which is, again, if you're a lawyer or a judge or a police officer or someone who needs to, again, it's not a need of understanding your privilege, understanding your racism. It's understanding how the system before in the past has been used to do some shitty, horrible things, and the specific ways that it was worded and designed to do and act those shitty things, and ways that we can work to not repeat those mistakes, and ways to catch those red flags when laws or certain things are being passed, and to better understand what type of verbiage and grammar they use to form that law. Because when we look at certain laws of Jim Crow's wording and how it was acted definitely give you the oh shit, that's kind of fucked up vibe. Or looking at Andrew Jackson and his many horrific and horrifying letters about what America's future and what they should do next after killing all the Indians. Which Andrew Jackson was pretty much preaching some Nazi shit before fucking Nazis were doing their thing. Because when he talked about the eradication and the complete slavery of blacks, he then was like, you know what, man? We really gotta like start working on a fight for the Jews. They fucking Jews, they gotta go. And you know what? There's so much white people who do that, dude.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't learn any American history, because the history I learned was basically how the world was found, when people were believed to have found it, and then Roman history and history of certain religions, followed by the history of basically the First Nations of Canada.
And also with that, also ways to better catch propaganda, like in Jackson's case and in the South's case, where they tried to rebrand and change the movement of the Civil War for the South from slavery to states' rights, which is always, you mean the states' rights to own slaves, which is no,
it was the states' rights to make as much money as possible without giving a shit about anything and going brutalizing a human being. Because they're fucking monsters.
Yes, precisely. The part they always leave out, which is the mentioning of it was the right to own slaves. And it's something that they try to brand, and furthermore in things like when you mentioned protection, and they made an active attempt to limit the black voter, and many attempts to limit all colored voters, including women, and furthermore attempting and rebranding what the war effort was by propping certain by trying to make over black people to try to make it seem that, oh no, you don't understand what we were fighting about. Look at Negro
You know, they
Toto."
didn't. I don't know why they didn't teach this for you guys either, which is confusing. Is that they blamed the British for the destruction of the South's economy because they abolished the slave trade, right? And that America
blamed
was
the British,
better than the British, so because we'd already beaten them, that it was their plan to bring the North against you because it was a British way to try and recreate their empire and subjugate them, right? Yet I never hear that being taught, but that's something I learned was used as propaganda by the South.
Yeah, it was that, also the praising of French culture, but not understanding the French as a whole, and European culture, and trying to find certain European things to help to justify activities and things they did in the South. Yeah, no, that, yeah, their long legacy of trying to rebrand and spread propaganda have been well an issue, and there are many atrocities in the South as a whole, and in the fact of that's what, again, when we go back to all this, why it's all important to understand and know is that when you can see all this bullshit for what it is, when someone tries to bring up the narratives or tries to bring up laws or tries to bring up certain talking points against things, you can quickly go, no man, bullshit. Because everything that we see that's like very like what the fuck levels, we've seen it before in the past. It's just back then, either you didn't give a fuck because that's just the way you just said, hey, that's just the way it is.
You know, it was hidden and harder to see because of different parts of the world, other side of the planet. No one was connected. The news was hidden or pushed away. People paid people off, but now you can't really do that. Pretty much everything gets seen and spotted now.
Right.
There are psychopaths out there. There are people who would rather care about themselves and take what they can than help anyone else. That's just a fact.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, it's and like I've said, is that sure some teachers, and you know what, this is also a problem with the teachers union as a whole because they won't take accountability when the teachers shit and they gotta go.
Yeah, they won't do that.
Yeah.
True.
And that's the problem with unions in general, where unions do the bare minimum to help people, or to weed out their own systems. They just take their dues and call it a day.
Yeah. That is the truth. And that is a problem.
Yep, in the prime case of mine with an antidote, my grievance specialist did not want to push it further. She even though she said outright that people have done worse, and what I did was not what I did. Well, still a reinstatement would probably been a better option with penalty, which is the penalty. But didn't want to pursue it because it just seemed hard. Even though if you really gave a shit about the person, if you really think that, you know what, this is just kind of the wrong portion, probably fight. But no, because like I said before, we are in the state of society that we are in today is just because we have looted and negated the ability to actually give people a proper understanding of laws, systems, and history itself to avoid causing the very fear police state that we live in today in this country that is so afraid of itself that just by the simple flick of a finger, you can be marked for death by anybody.
The world is full of fear, that is true. COVID didn't help.
COVID didn't help, and it also caused people to begin starting to spout racist beliefs against Chinese people. Whether or not we talk about the Chinese government is a whole different fucking story.
Yeah, the government's the issue, not the people. We all know that's the truth.
Right. But then of course we just conflate it to, oh, the Chinese were just all on it. I was like, fucking Bing
That's not how that works.
Fucking Bing Wong from the noodle shop didn't plan to give you a fucking disease that puts his own business in trouble, okay? This no one, there's no giant cabal, like there's no Jewish cabal that's destroying the world, okay?
No, something like 70% of Chinese individuals are well below the poverty line, right? Do people not know that?
They pretend to not know it, and they only bring it up when they're trying to diss other races. Because again, the same people, the same anti-woke will pick and choose certain facts and ideals to push and spread, or tell half-truths about things just to try to push the narrative. The same thing that anti and SJWs are almost the same thing, but they're two different spectrums as a whole.
Huh.
I mean, for example, when we mention black on black crime, and we mention the gap, it's a thing, but then we ignore the one. Which area you're talking about, what context you're using it in, and also, you mentioned it, great, fantastic, but also, here's another question, what's the point?
How many of them are actually Hispanic selling drugs? How many of them are just street kids that are, like, mixed or not actually even black and white? And, like, the stupidity of it is hilarious to me every time I hear it. It was a black on black crime. Meanwhile, it was 20 Hispanic people and one black dude selling drugs and shit. Like, what the fuck? Because manipulation. Statistic increase for us to make us seem better.
Right, it's like, look at how violent look at how black people are just inherently violent. Black people just gotta stop committing crimes. Like, the issue isn't that they commit more crimes. It's the issue is because most black areas are in poverty-stricken areas. Crime runs rampant more in impoverished areas. And within black communities, they have been robbed and stripped of forms of income and stability for many years and left to just kind of rot and be where they are. So when we talk about why this crime exists, we ignore the notion of that there's been systematic and generational things that occur that we don't like to do, but these are things that happen. And the fact that, as a whole, even when we've had put up things to help to prevent those incidents from happening to the same extent, we still also have laws that contradict ourselves into going back on some behavior, as says the 13th Amendment, which can allow prisons to become more profit and imprison more people and get them for small offenses or small minor offenses and serve longer sentences. Have courts based on how emotionally you harm me versus what the crime you did was truly worth as a whole. Or where we have cases of police who are either, some cases, racist in their own right. We have police who are inexperienced. We have police who are just not here for good intentions, or not from the neighborhood, who don't understand the people and the context of the area, policing these areas and applying their own form of law and justice, not the actual law and justice that is stated within the very thing they swore an oath to. So when we ask ourselves the question, black crime and crime in general, this is a factor that plays not just because such and such is this. It's more of systematically fucked up for years, followed by a lack of actually trying to mend the wound caused such a fracture and describe, and only just making it more worse by going further into a police-like state, which of course after 9/11, then of course was started being more protective, even though that was Bush's fuck up as a whole as a president, because it was basically peace movement.
Okay.
I mean,
it does make sense, unfortunately.
And which I mean, even to give Bush some credit, which he doesn't deserve already. The fact that before Bush, there was other presidents that preceded him who did not help the bar as a whole, who only made things more and more difficult for many groups impoverished, not just black, but just in general, impoverished and losing more and more of their ability to step out of the rut that the country had left them in as a whole, or had put them in as a whole. I mean, the fact that Reaganomics, I mean, fucking Orca loves his Reagan, but I mean, as much as he loves him, the fact is he was a fucking actor, not a politician.
Yeah, and that's kind of how he won, because he acted more better than anything else and didn't actually do anything that mattered.
Yes, the fact that the rich became richer, the fact that trading arms for hostages, the war on terror, and the fact that the war on terror not only militarized and gave dictators power that should never have probably had power, but we had destabilized that region so much to where it's the state that it's in now, where now we run more by malicious and religious extremists than actual governing bodies trying to form a cohesive society, which we can argue whether or not, you know, it would have turned out really good if it would have evolved, but the fact that we're playing on the case is that are dozens of operations in the Middle East to try to have some control of the democratic West, or try to build allies, forcing allies, was our main problem. I mean, Vietnam was a prime example of us trying to force ourselves to have another ally against communism. We had interjected ourselves into that war, into that society. Fuck it up harder than Orca trying to not be a piece of shit and listen to your drill tactics. I had to make the reference. Sorry, but us in our involvement in Vietnam caused more harm than good, because once we left, then the shit got worse, especially for the Hmong people who were massacred in genocide, who were victims of genocide by Viet Cong and North Vietnam alike. And the fact that people were suffering from poisoning and radiation from the horns, dozens of war-wounded individuals left there to die, many children that are born out of prostitution or rape of villagers.
Yeah, there was a lot of problems everywhere in that time, but that was just then. That's just the unfortunate truth that no one wants to pay any attention to. But human history is significantly greedier than people are willing to admit.
Oh, human history is covered in blood and semen everywhere.
Yeah, so are most people, though.
Oh yeah.
Whether they're willing to admit it or not.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, while Vietnam is definitely in the past and a mistake that we pray to never make again, it just rings a truth that is undeniable, which is that the good old-fashioned US of A caused partially that shit to occur, and also a truth that we had, that due to the failed policies and the lack of truly understanding of the leaders we've had in this country, and power plays that caused issues with certain groups or societies or areas that we now treat as, oh, they're full of extremists or malicious or criminals, whatever.
I mean,
when you little understand the people and you little understand the situation, and you jump in with a one answer all solution, you're bound to basically have situations where you make things worse, or you make things kind of awkward.
When you don't understand everything and everyone, you always make something worse. But you can never fully understand everything and everyone.
You can never fully understand, but you can at least work to get a good grasp. That's the thing. Work to be better, not to be perfect.
Fair. It's a fair enough way to put it, to be honest.
It's in a weird way that the prime example is a character I'm working on, which is a guy named Bartholomew. But one of the things that I have him basically preaching, despite his many absurdities and poor ideas, which is things of the good man, the honest man, and the true man. A good man is an easily fooled man. The honest man is one who, while can acknowledge their nature, they cannot believe they can't be anything else.
Huh.
And a true man is one who can look at the very nature of their existence for what it truly is. And, well, whatever that is, I don't fucking know. But the main point I'm getting at is, in our pursuit to be the moral hierarchy and the highest standard of whatever group we try to preach for, the main issue is we delude ourselves, we blind ourselves with the words and talking points of dozens of things that have very minuscule value in the grand scheme of things. Money is only valuable as the man who makes it. Land is only as valuable as the man who claims to own it. But in truthfulness, you can't really own land. You can't really own this. You can't really own that. You can't really own people. We try to make these ownerships because, in truth, we try to give ourselves more power than we truly have. To try to make ourselves stand out from the crowd. To try to be something more than what we are. And try to pretend, or not say pretend, but try to obfuscate the honest truth of we just are here. We don't know why exactly we're here, but we are here now. Instead of living for a moment, we try to find a reason as to why we must live in that moment. We must find a reason as to why things are the way they are. Instead of taking for what we have and making something for our lives, we instead need to try and force and accepting that other lives live the way they do.
They need to be part of our lives. They need to be part of us. Yeah. It's a thing.
Indeed, a truth that no one wants to accept, or they can, or some say they can, but truthfully can't. And wherever anyone falls on the spectrum or concept of knowledge of things is truly up to them. There's no judgment for me either way. But as a grand scheme of things, is instead of listening to fucking your Andrew Tate Petersons and Biden and fucking and Kamala Harris for fucking 2 hours straight, just step back and just look. Just fucking look. Just see what actually lay in front of you. Just for 2 seconds. I'm not asking you to be a center, not asking you to be anything. Just look. Just see what genuinely is. Through the eyes of what you see, not through what the eyes of others see, not the eyes of what CNN or Fox News shows you.
Not what people are telling you to see or want you to see. Just go ahead and look around and see. That's literally what you're capable of doing. You can go online, you can look at everybody's opinion, you can look and see what's out there, and then you can go and look and make up your own opinion on something. It's very straightforward. It's something that was once taught called common sense. Oh, these people are saying this, these people are saying that. I wonder what the people here are saying and what I've actually seen and what I make of this. It's very rare to find anymore. Especially when you have people like, oh, I just followed this person. What about his opposition or her opposition? Don't you watch any of their opinions or their voice on this stuff? No, why would I? They're opposite of what I'm learning from this person, so that you can understand them, so that you can learn from them, so that you can see and find the balance that makes the most sense. I don't want balance. I want it to be exactly this way. That doesn't work for everybody.
Right. Like for example, detractors of Brie Larson, which is she an asshole sometimes? Yeah. Which fucking famous person is an asshole at one fucking point?
True.
But when we look at things like that one show where Google's most asked questions, and one of them was, can Superman beat Captain Marvel? First of all, the crew who set that up didn't do the research. Not Brie Larson. She just simply was told this is for Captain Marvel, or she's doing it, and then there's gonna be questions surrounding Captain Marvel. Not that the question was talking about Captain Marvel DC, not Captain Marvel Marvel. So that isn't. So people criticize that. Leave her alone on that point, because she literally didn't fucking look it up. She responded, and of course she plays the character. Of course she's gonna talk shit about her fucking character being a badass. Who doesn't? Everyone who plays their character is gonna hype up their character. Why? Because it's
kind of the point,
isn't it? Yeah, no shit. Would someone come? Like, what you think Master Chief walked in and said, "Oh, fuck it, I don't think Master Chief anyway. He's just fucking. I mean,
compared to him, I don't know. Win. You think the actor for Kratos just went? I don't think Kratos can.
I don't think Kratos could take on a small child. What are you talking about?
Right, and it's
Christopher
like
Judd is a fucking fantastic human being, though. So
yes, but the point still stands is that most actors are not going to talk shit about their character unless, of course, they're trying to analyze and talk about the deeper meanings of their character, like Edward, like the actor who played Edward Chigurh, Antoine Chigurh, where he talks about how he's this confusing, flawed monster of a person, and he's just analyzing him as a character. But in that context, he's just analyzing his character. He's honestly analyzing the character he's playing. He was a villain. Brie Larson is just made a comment about the character she played. You're a fucking superhero. It's just marketed to kids.
yeah, which, like, why would anyone give a shit? Like, you can't really say something like that. Like, oh, you're expected to know all about your character, but I literally just enjoyed my character. I didn't really pay any attention to any other character. You're supposed to know all her villains, all her this. No, I'm supposed to know my character. I'm not supposed to know everything about everything in a different universe. She's not Henry Cavill in The Witcher.
Right. It's like now if you ask me, would I prefer the actors and actresses to know the show? Yeah, because it helps with the performance. But as a whole, if they have the skill set to bring the character to life, then bring the character to life. But when we get into cases where we can't just accept the fact that someone may make a genuine mistake or may not just know that fucking Captain Marvel was initially a DC character. Not even a DC character originally. He was initially a competitor of DC. The DC bought him just to remove him from the competition and then bring him into the main canon and then fucking change his name again because Marvel took Captain Marvel.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you're someone that's super into comics, you wouldn't even know that. But hey, there's fucking grifters who claim to know it didn't fucking comprehend that She-Ra is 14, and why are you expecting 14-year-old with big old honkers?
Because sex sells, even if it's child sex, which is fucked up on every level.
Right. Or my favorite is she was a princess in the original, but now they made her an orphan. It's like she was already an orphan in the original one.
Yeah, but people don't know things. People don't pay attention to things.
Like, you fucking twat. Are you regarded? Fucking courting. What are you talking about? Yes, everyone knows shit. But if you grew up watching She-Ra, you know that yes, she was an orphan in the original, and yes, she is 14.
I didn't grow up watching shit.